one such issue is online and offline harassment of women. Kavita is the first member of parliament from the state of Telangana. She is the daughter of the chief minister of the state, currently a member of legislative council, but I would see her as the face of women in this state of Telangana, someone who I admire greatly.
Thank you.
Let me get straight into my first question. As a woman in power, what are the kind of offline messages or concerns that you have?
Well, first of all, thank you, Maria ji, and thank you, Truecaller and Network 18 for hosting this wonderful event here in Hyderabad. We did need to call out, we did need to say it's not okay, so I'm happy to be a part of this. And offline messaging, मुझे कोई message करे ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता. But then, yeah, there are many cries out for help. There are many issues that are of concern today, and we try to address them one by one. We are doing that, and I'm happy somebody else also now has joined the bandwagon. As governments, as women leaders, we are more focused, and when we see a woman, even when we are in a rush, we stop, try and talk to them, understand their issue and try to help them out.
As a woman leader, what is the kind of gender bias that you have faced? And do you continue to face it?
Not really. I have been one of the privileged, lucky few people in this country, I believe, in politics or any field. We've seen there is a huge gender bias. I am one of the luckiest person who happened to be not directly facing the bias. But when I was in the parliament, we used to, like a forum of women member of parliaments, used to repeatedly request our Lok Sabha speaker, Sumitra Mahajanji. We used to tell her, ma'am, please don't only give us opportunity on Women's Day, but give us opportunity throughout the year. So we did fight, we did get our voice heard, we made sure that all of us got opportunities to speak on various issues.
And what was it like? I mean, response from Sumitra Mahajan on a question such as this, why should women get a chance to speak only on Women's Day?
No, she's a great leader. She's won 7-8 times from a constituency. So she understood women need to be supported. She did give all of us a chance, and she would formulate special programs for all the women legislatures, and she would call MLAs from all the other states as well. And we member of parliaments were in charge of running these programs also. So it was good, participative, and very happy. Always when a woman is there, she'll take care of the other women. That Sumitra Mahajanji had proved that time.
And do women in power, such as you, have a special connect with women workers, women cadres? Is there also that sense of comfort that you give to them, that they can reach out to you at any hour in the day?
See, that is always there. Not only our party workers or party family, but then when we go out in general programs, it is women who come throng to me more than men, because women can come, touch you, ask you.
Yes.
So that there is a comfort level for the women voters actually. So women of this country will need more women leaders, because then they'll be openly able to share their issues and problems with women politicians and leaders more than with male politicians and leaders. That I've seen. Whichever village I go to, whichever program I go to, women come to me first. So there is an advantage right there that we see.
And Kavita ji, as someone, again, who understands issues, what role have you played in ensuring women feel safe in Telangana?
Well, we are lucky in Telangana. Our Honorable Chief Minister, whichever program he has taken, he has put women in the first place. It is not just about safety, but when it comes to financial empowerment, when it comes to issues of making sure women are safe and secure in their own homes, we put women in the front. For example, I'll start with a small one. If we have to give pension and we have to choose between a husband and a wife, Telangana government chooses the wife. If we are giving a double bedroom house, if we have to choose husband and wife, Telangana government always puts the property on the wife's name. And if there are shepherd community women who want the government's incentives and programs that we do, we always choose the women first. So not just in terms of lip service, like saying ki humne mahilaon ka raksha kar liya, this, that. No, but we also believe in empowering women, and we've generated so many programs in terms of empowering them industries-wise, I believe we are one of the first state to have the Women Industrial Park exclusively for women. And it is done with the FICCI. So they have identified a lot of women. We gave them incentives. There's one other industrial park that has come up. So we believe in financial empowerment of women also. Safety security has to go without saying. It should be like the air that we breathe. Women should not ask, ki, please hamara dekhbhal karo. We are the citizen of this country. We are half of this country. And we should be protected by our governments. It's our responsibility.
And Telangana is heading towards becoming the first state of India to have its own legislation on cybercrime. How did you go through the entire process? What is the need for a legislation of this nature? And how significant milestone do you see it will be when it finally comes into force?
Currently, Telangana government is working with Nalsar University to come up with a law which addresses particularly about the cyber harassment issues that the women face. Not only just the cyber harassment, it also takes care of other things like cyber crimes, frauds, etc. also. But harassment is a major issue in that. Well, with the changing times, changing technology, as a government which is progressive and very aggressively pursuing IT and IT-related industries, there are a lot of opportunities for Telangana, but also there are equally challenges. So one of the challenges is the cyber harassment and cyber security issues that we face. So there are laws, IPC can address it, the IT Policy 2000 can address it, but then if there are specific legislations with defined terms, then it becomes easy to train our policemen, it becomes easy to train our citizens, it becomes easy to train our companies, because across the globe, wherever you see, there are legislations, but the problem is there is not enough training given to the police force. But we have already done that even without a legislation. We have put together something called as the she teams. Yes. So if any woman has any issue, it could be cyberbullying or otherwise, they can just go there. So a woman knows in Telangana where to go if she has an issue. But in various advanced countries like US, when anybody is bullied online, if they go to a regular cop, they would not know what to do. These cops have not helped, and many bloggers, many writers have openly said it, that I've approached the cops 100 times with a visible threat on my website, but the police said, how do we even know this guy exists? Or how do we even know it is going to turn into a real crime? So these are the challenges. But then Telangana government had put together a task force on the ground. There is a special cybercrime cell which is put in place. An ACP is in charge of it, and there are 4 officers allocated to it. So there is an infrastructure set up in place. So women of Telangana, if they face any harassment, they know where to go. Either they can go to a she team or they can go to a cyber security. But when you bring in an additional legislation, it just gives more comfort for the police also to book a crime under certain section, and then the punishments also will be much more swifter. So that is the basic idea of getting a law specifically for cyber harassment issues.
While we understand that perhaps women in a city such as Hyderabad may be more aware of what is happening, what about B towns of Telangana, smaller areas, villages? What is the kind of response that you are getting? Are they still reaching out and securing their spaces, or is there a great degree of stigma that is attached to bullying?
No, absolutely. She teams today has become a household name. In every movie also, if somebody is bullying, they say in a Telugu movie that she teams wale aayenge, pakad ke le jayenge. So it has become a household name. Every district of Telangana has a separate she team set up. So many women know this, and not only just the she teams. We have set up a one-stop crime centers also, crime shelters also. If there is crime against women in the districts, it is set up directly in the government hospital. So they can go there, a lawyer will come there, SI will come there, her treatment will be done, and then she can securely stay there as well. So not only Hyderabad, we believe in addressing every nook and corner of Telangana, and we are empowering women across the state.
One statistic which was very disturbing and worrying is, Kavita ji, that Telangana witnessed a surge in cases of phone harassment in 2020. What more can be done to help women?
Primarily, Maria ji, not only Hyderabad, this has been the case across the globe. Post-pandemic, big deal of harassment has started happening over the phones. And also, you should understand, I would like to share one number with you. The percentage of women who use phones in rural areas of India and in Telangana is very less compared to men. And even if they use phone, there is no access to internet. So now, post-pandemic, that has changed. So when the technology comes in, harassment also comes in along with it. Till date, only about say 35% of women have access to internet in rural India today. But then even those 35% get the harassment calls along with the internet. So now the real challenge with our government is how to face that as one, but yet how do we make sure that internet penetrates into rural India, rural Telangana? Because when internet can be a great enabler, and there are many studies which talk about if you can just bring around 600 million more women onto internet, how can the world GDP grow by 18 billion? And I believe very strongly as a woman, we have a very weird working curve, you know. By the time we get married, have children, we would be peaking in career, and once you have child, your career also goes down with that. But then technology, if we can educate our women in technology, they can work from home. So we really need to make sure that internet goes into the villages. Telangana government is working towards it. I mean, my dream personally is like today, a woman sitting in a village house rolling beedies. Tomorrow I want her to be working on a laptop. You know, that is the kind of vision we have for Telangana. So we are working towards it. Digitally empowering the women and citizens of Telangana is our goal. And that is why we newly launched the ICT Policy 2021-2026 for the next 5 years. It's a brilliant policy with a lot of impetus on making sure we digitally empower our citizens with a lot of security details in place.
Yes. So, ma'am, when you talk about this ICT policy, again, that will be about women feeling that they have an extra tool in their hands. But overall, that entire approach towards harassment continues to be in which women shy away from taking these issues up. Their first response is to just block these callers rather than report. And also the role of men, the stakeholders, the men in the homes, I mean, to have that comfort that women can have that conversation with their fathers and their brothers at home.
Don't you think it's a societal issue? Governments can make laws, but then they can't change the mindset. For society as a whole to change, I believe today, I'm a very optimistic person. I believe today there is a larger acceptance for women to go out and work. At least in Hyderabad, that is the case. There is a larger acceptance for women to work from home, larger acceptance for women to, because we've broken all kinds of records in Telangana. We have a first junior lineman who goes up the poles like men and fixes electric lines for you. We have the first mining engineer in Telangana who goes down along with other men, tills the coal and gets it out. So we've broken all kinds of barriers in Telangana. There is a larger acceptance today in our society, and there's an open-mindedness. Now, how do we take it to the next level? Definitely it is a challenge, but only governments making rigid laws won't help. Society as a whole, we have to work together. You are doing a great effort. Our government is doing a great effort. Together, I'm sure all of us can reach to that point, but it won't happen today, tomorrow. I'm not that optimistic, but then, yeah, we will. It's a work in progress. We will keep it at.
And this Truecaller News 18 network, okay, we are emphasizing on call it out.
Right.
Because it's not okay to just block, but to call it out. The collective responsibility, that sense that we should have, where the policymakers, along with the society, becomes responsible. What do you think should be done at various stages?
Well, this is where I believe more education for women is required, because if somebody starts calling you, start sending you texts that you don't want and unnecessarily harassing you, then as you rightly said, we cringe and then we immediately delete or block that post. But then that won't help a police officer to help us. That won't help a government or an NGO to help you. So it will be uncomfortable, but then I request all my sisters, if you get a message, if you get a call which you are not interested in, you save it. Take a screenshot, save the time, save the real-time links, make sure that you can present it to the authorities one day when you want to report. Unless and until you want to report, nobody else can help you. But don't lose hope. Today in Telangana, if you report, you'll get the result very quickly. We have proven it in many cases where we have picked up boys who were eve-teasing the girls, counseled them, put some of them in the jails if required, left some of them with counseling. But there is a logical end to this issue. we can take it to the end, our government can take it to the end. So if you get a message that you are not interested in, don't block it, don't delete it, save it, be smart, use the technology to save yourselves also. So please be educated, and I'm thankful to Network 18 for bringing this education to girls and women. I think more of this education has to go in as to how a process can be taken up so these perpetrators can be punished one day.
And what role do you think men will play in this entire journey? Because I think the emphasis on men as allies becomes important, isn't it, ma'am?
See, men won't give you control until and unless you take it from them. And they will not like us taking control. They will not want us to be on internet. They will not want us to be in the spaces where they ideally should be. So it's a what should I say now? It's a civilization issue, right? But then we can't give up. We are very, very tough people, women. We should not give up. We should continuously continue to claim our right on using internet. And of course, men, we, as I always request them, kindly speak for us. Because if you speak for us, then there will be more power. If you speak for us, we will have additional strength. Not that we are not strong enough, but we are going to surpass you one day. So you better join the band, start supporting us immediately, because we are already getting to a place where we are doing very good and excellent in every possible field. And I'm sure we will excel in the digital field as well.
And you said it rightly, the digital space comes with its advantages and disadvantages. There is snooping that happens, there is cyberbullying, cybercrime. It is open with challenges.
True.
And do you think women tend to feel very, very vulnerable? And any anecdote that you would have to share with us about your experience or having a conversation with any of your karyakartas about it?
There are many experiences. Unfortunately, what happens as in regular crime, people who know you will bully you first, or people who know you will haunt you and harass you first, even on cyberspace. So that's an unfortunate trend that is happening. So if you get a harassment call, immediately think about your inner circle or close circle. Try and be very smart about who could this person be, how can we identify them. So that could be the beginning. Second thing, I always tell women, don't give up here, don't give up, don't lose hope. There will be systems, if you speak out, 100 people will come to support you. It has happened in many, many cases. People who approach me, people who approach any NGO, any governments are willing to help. It's only for you to speak up. And that courage nobody can give you. You have to yourself fight it out, get your problem out there, and there will be hundreds of people to help you out. I can give you the confidence. Telangana government is there, She Teams is there, our brilliant police department is there. So please, please, please speak out.
My last question to you, and this is about how, because you said you are privileged, you are speaking from a position of power and authority, how will you ensure that Telangana becomes a safer place for women?
Well, with power comes responsibility. No? Definitely we are there, responsible. We take responsibility for our women, for our children. We work day in, day out to make more friendlier policies. We are trying to create more and more avenues. For example, we have a specific Mahila police stations in most of the constituency headquarters that are set up. There are separate Mahila police station in the IT space, Gachibowli, where it is set up. There are she shuttles everywhere in town. So we're trying to make sure, it's just not lip service to say we want more and more women to come and work, but we want to enable them to come and work. We're supporting them in every which possible way, and we will continue to do so.
Your final thoughts?
Final thoughts, brilliant program, and if this is a countrywide program, I think it'll be amazing, and please focus more on rural areas. I believe more and more education is required there also, because bullying won't stop just in metros. It will go into the rural areas as well. As the phones grow, as the internet grows, it will also happen. So let us educate our women from now on, and please involve everybody. This is not a political issue, this is a societal issue. So each one of us need to speak out, and I'm happy you're taking this up.
And Pragya is right here. And Pragya, we have been discussing that idea of B-towns of India, and that is where, while there is digital penetration, comes also roles of, apps such as yours, which is a Truecaller,
Right.
where women in small towns of India, rural parts, as you said it rightly, should have that tool in their hands
Absolutely.
to take it up.
Absolutely. And this is where I was just speaking with Pragya of late. If somebody is harassing me on WhatsApp, these companies are not friendly. I cannot report it back to WhatsApp saying block this person. So tech giants like Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, whichever social media is popular, they really need to understand and work for women as well. They need to put in special thoughts of how do we counter this. You know, many women journalists are harassed all the time. And how do you report it? What do you do? It's an ordeal. It's a big, huge process. And I don't want to look weak, but then I would like to need an option by all these tech giants to be given to women so that we can exercise it easily. And you were showing me the Truecaller app which said, just with one click, I can say this can be done. I would like to have that on WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere I want to go, because I want my cyberspace to be more free and I want to feel safe there. So I think tech giants also should start thinking about women and how they're harassed and how it can be countered. So the responsibility cannot be just on the governments, because there are certain cases in US where these tech giants were ordered to completely delete some of the private pictures of their databases completely. So that can be done as well. So it's a cooperation between giant technology companies and governments also. So I think the next step should be that we should be not only talking to governments, but also bring these companies in, ask them how friendly are they going to make their apps to women.
Thank you so much for your time. Pleasure speaking to you, and thank you for sharing all the insights, ma'am.
Thank you so much.